Welcome everyone to this product spotlight covering the period from July to September 2024. As usual, here's the normal disclaimer notice. The material in this webinar is confidential, so we just ask that you don't circulate it to anybody outside of the organization. That being said, welcome to the Global Relay Product Spotlight. In this series of webinars, we take a closer look at some of the new features and capabilities that have been released in the previous quarter. The aim is to ensure that all of our customers and users can take full advantage of the new capabilities, but also have the opportunity to ask questions to our product experts that are on the call. If you do have a question, then please feel free to drop it in the Q&A panel, and we'll answer those as we go along or in the dedicated Q&A section at the end of the webinar. This webinar will also be recorded and distributed to everybody after this session. Your presenters will be Severine Hershow, Pippa Hughes, and myself from the product marketing team. We're also joined by Donald McElligott, our VP of Compliance Supervision, and Mary Lee, our VP of Customer Success. Before we launch into our first feature, an additional word of welcome from Mary.
Thanks, Tim. Welcome, everyone, to the first ever quarterly product update for Global Relay. I'm Mary Lee, Vice President of Customer Success. We have been investing a lot into our surveillance and archiving technology, and also into our customer success organization, so that you, our customer, can benefit. And we're excited to share what we've been up to in the past few months. Global Relay has been growing as a company. We just celebrated our 25th anniversary and have expanded into offices across the globe, including maintaining our presence in London, Chicago, and Vancouver, while building out a beautiful flagship location in New York City, complete with an expansive 200+ person auditorium and a state-of-the-art media room. We continue to maintain a rapid pace in developing new integrations and connectors, scaling our capability to ingest new data types. If we don't have a connector for your platform today, we can now build one quickly. We have also significantly expanded on mobile and texting capabilities, responding to one of the most notable regulatory requirements for many companies. Carrier-based, Android, Apple, and of course our own proprietary application are solutions we can now provide for more and more companies working to manage compliant telecommunications. Today, we'll be sharing details on these recent product updates and provide some time for Q&A. Please type them into the Q&A box below, as Tim mentioned. Finally, we are excited to announce that for those of you who have long been on our trusty and reliable Archive 9, we can now offer to move you to our latest archive version to take advantage of many of the developments and enhancements we've made at Global Relay, including message transcription, on-demand translation for over 50 languages, and of course, begin taking advantage of our integrated AI and large language model solution to make compliance more efficient. It will truly be a game changer. So if this is of interest to you, please reach out to your dedicated customer success manager or to customersuccess@globalrelay.net, and our team would love to speak with you on this and any other topics you would like. Thank you for joining us. We hope today's session is informative and impactful.
Thank you, Mary. Severine, would you like to kick us off with talking through our first new feature, multi-language voice transcription?
Yes, sure. Thank you very much, Tim, and thanks, Mary. Welcome, everyone. So I'm really excited to talk to you about the multi-language voice transcription. So to support a comprehensive surveillance strategy that covers all communication channels, and with regulators, as you know, gradually increasing the requirements around voice communication surveillance, Global Relay have invested in a powerful AI-enabled transcription solution. So it currently supports 57 languages with plans to evolve the number of languages in the future. Users can opt for either inline transcription. This is where audio files are transcribed immediately on ingestion, with a transcript and the original audio file sitting beside one another in the archive. Also, with inline transcription, transcriptions are checked against the policies you have set up, with matches highlighted red on screen. And this is really to give greater visibility of where potential violations have occurred. You will also see a waveform with visual indicators of at which point in the voice message the violation happened. And users can click on the highlighted segment, jumping straight to the occurrence, rather than having to listen to the overall recording. Alternatively, you can actually opt for an on-demand transcription, which allows historically archived audio file to be transcribed on demand. So this is particularly useful in e-discovery cases where you may need to investigate backdated conversation, or in the event of having to provide evidence for a case. So it's just not a case of one or the other. You can opt for using both inline and on-demand transcription, depending on what your needs are. And inline transcription is available for both A9 and A10 archive users. However, the waveform we mentioned before, the waveform functionality and on-demand transcription are A10 only. I think you muted, Tim, but I can take that.
Yep, great. Let's move on to on-demand transcription improvements.
Yeah, another great feature here. So on-demand transcription improvements. So following a round of enhancement, and on-demand transcription can be downloaded now in English from any of the 57 native languages. So this is particularly useful if you need to investigate historical conversation that occurred in multiple languages. You wouldn't need to actually navigate away from the archive to use, for example, an alternative translation tool. Instead, you can just download the transcript directly into English on demand. Also glad to hear there are no costs associated with on-demand transcription. You simply need to have the connector in place. So I will now pass over to Don, who will demonstrate what the transcription feature looks like within the UI.
Okay, thanks very much. So we're logged into our demonstration environment right now. This is where I would normally do my regular routine surveillance and supervision. I'm logged in as a user who's reviewing alerts. They would appear from any of the different connector types that Global Relay provides. So any and all of my supervised communications can come to a single place for me to start my review. Policies can be configured to flag on keywords that are found in the messages. And on a message like this one, where there's an audio recording, I can not only see the player, but I can also see the transcription of that recording. And any of the violations that were identified, any of the text that matches will be highlighted right in the transcription, and it will also highlight in the player on the waveform. So it allows me to jump immediately to the relevant portion of the audio and listen to the proper portion. The actual act of transcribing the data is performed within Global Relay's data centers, and we're using the very latest state-of-the-art transcription capabilities. It is extremely accurate. It's also extremely good at picking up very low quality or troublesome audio, where traditionally transcription tools would have a very hard time transcribing. The example I have here of this insider trading violation is actually a real-life example. It's taken from the Galleon hedge fund case a number of years back, where it was a phone tap of an audio recording. And I'm going to play this audio right now, and you will notice it is very difficult to hear, never mind transcribe. I'll just play a few seconds.
Hello. Hey, Raj, Anil. Hi, Anu. Raj, eBay is going to do massive layoffs on Monday. They're going to do what? Layoffs on Monday. Okay. Now
So that audio is very hard to hear, but seeing the text and knowing what is being said at that point, even when the person on the phone call actually had a little trouble hearing him and asked him to repeat himself, if I turn on the auto scroll and re-hit play, you'll see that it'll stay in sync. And with the transcription, you are able to hear it much better.
Hey, Raj, Anil. Hi, Anu. Raj, eBay is going to do massive layoffs on Monday. They're going to do what? Layoffs on Monday. Oh. Now, the problem, again, as usual, is will that mean everyone will say, shit, this company's in trouble and will it go crater?
So with the transcription, audio that's almost impossible to hear originally becomes quite clear. And again, the policies that are flagging on the transcription are able to identify exactly where that happens in the audio. I have one other example to share. This is a phone call that was done in French. So the audio transcription you hear from this message will be a French language speaker. The audio is here played, and I'll play a little bit of it and let the scroll show you the transcription capabilities.
Hey Chris, ça va?
Salut Bob, ça va nickel et toi? Comment ça va?
Ça va, ça va. T'as des plans ce week-end?
Pas vraiment, on a notre anniversaire de mariage avec ma femme, mais j'ai rien de prévu de spécial. On est fatigués tous les deux, donc on va rester.
So the transcription engine is actually capable of doing the transcription across 57 different languages. So it's quite good at capturing not only the quality of the audio, but various languages. It is not restricted to a single language at a time. So if the speakers jump between multiple languages, it will jump between those languages as well. And similarly, when you see content that's flagged in the French language, we can also identify where in the audio that language is spoken. So that's how we do foreign language transcription.
Thanks, Don. So let's move over to connectors. And Pippa, would you like to talk us through a number of new connectors that have been released recently?
Yeah, sure. Great. Thanks, Tim. And good afternoon, everybody. It's great to be here. I'll walk you through 3 new connectors which launched between July and September. But first, a quick reminder about why our connectors matter. They serve as the bridge between that transfers communication data from your e-commerce platform to Global Relay Archive, ensuring record keeping and compliance. As your users communicate more and more through diverse e-com platforms, we continually expand and enhance our connector portfolio to help you securely capture all necessary businesses' communications. Let's talk about our new Global Relay connector for ChatGPT Enterprise. This new exciting integration with OpenAI and the new Global Relay connector for ChatGPT Enterprise was announced and launched back in July. ChatGPT Enterprise stores data on the OpenAI platform for only 30 days. Global Relay's native API allows your organization to compliantly capture and archive data beyond 30 days and store it in Global Relay Archive to align with the required retention period. All prompts, chatbot messages, and files are securely captured and archived. This is available for users who are on Global Relay Archive A9 and A10. And please note that you do need to be on the ChatGPT Enterprise plan.
Great. Shall we move on to the Global Relay connector for OneDrive?
Yeah, great. So next up, we've got our Global Relay connector for OneDrive. This was launched in September, and we now have a complete suite of Microsoft connectors adding to our extensive range. So we already have connectors for Microsoft for SharePoint, Microsoft Teams, LinkedIn, Microsoft Exchange, Office 365 Online, Viva Engage, and Skype for Business. So this completes our Microsoft offering and connectors. So you can actively capture OneDrive files and their associated metadata, and the Microsoft OneDrive Cloud via Direct API integration. We capture tracked changes under modified in order events where files can be easily searched for and retrieved. This product is available globally for users who are on Global Relay Archive A9 or A10. And you're on mute, Tim.
Yep, great. So finally, Global Relay connector for TikTok.
Yeah, so this is the last of our 3 recently launched connectors. So as social media usage increases, so do compliance risks for firms. This has been noticeable in the news with influencers being investigated by regulators. Global Relay's TikTok connector, which launched back in August, offers a compliant solution by helping your organization to capture and archive TikTok content to meet record-keeping requirements. Unlike a lot of other vendors, we comply with TikTok's T's and C's, meaning we can't capture the video itself. However, we do capture all the metadata, including profile, posts, comments, and replies. Global Relay Connector for TikTok is currently available globally for all new and existing customers on Global Relay Archive A9 and A10. I'll hand you back to Tim for more on our latest translation enhancements.
Great, thanks a lot, Pippa. Just a couple of questions that have come through. Obviously, there was the announcement there of the connector for ChatGPT, and there's just a few people wondering if we have any plans at the moment to implement the connector for Microsoft Copilot, or if that's potentially coming in the future. Pippa, do you want to kind of take that question?
That is a very good question, and I might have to get back to you on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for raising that one, and we'll make sure that we do get back to you with the answer to that.
Yeah, and obviously there's new connectors coming out all of the time. If there's other people on the call that are interested in the Copilot connector, then certainly drop a message in the chat there, because those connectors are obviously prioritized based on the demand across our customer base and the general kind of usage within the firms that use our products. So, Severine, shall we continue with on-demand translation enhancements?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So, yeah, as you can hear, I'm French, so I'm really excited about all this translation enhancements. So this is really one of the top feature we have actually released between July and September. So on-demand translation enhancements. So really building on our multi-language capabilities, on-demand translation enables actually user to view a message in its original language, beside its English translation on screen. So this is available actually since mid-November. And as of mid-November, we have extended the availability to over 50 languages now. So as you can see from the UI screenshot, both languages are actually shown side by side to allow for easier interpretation and improved compliance assessment accuracy. So this feature is available for A10 archive users only at the moment. So I will pass over to Don again for another exciting demo and you're going to see how the translation feature works.
All right, thanks again. So this, back to our archive, we'll reuse our previous audio recording where we transcribed the audio in French. So what I have is a French language message. It is possible and common for customers to actually apply policy to the native language. So a policy with the French phrase can identify and match. But if I have reviewers that don't speak French and are presented with this review, they're going to want to be able to review this in English. So the on-demand translation button is available. Pressing translation to English will translate the call instantly. And again, I want to stress the point that Global Relay runs this translation and transcription technology in-house in our own data centers. So we do not call out to external providers to provide this service. This happens within our own data centers. Here I can see on the original message exactly where the problematic portion was. And as an English reviewer, I'm going to scroll to the same point in the conversation so I can see what the translation was and make a note that my employees are not doing the right thing in English or French as they comment on our customers. So that allows me to use English reviewing compliance teams to review data across any of the 50 languages that are available. This translation happens on demand. I can download it for a copy myself, or I could simply just refer to the translation here one time and close it out. All right, back to you, Tim.
Thanks a lot, Don. So we've covered the following capabilities and new features in this release summary. You've heard about multi-language voice transcription, on-demand transcription improvements, the 3 new connectors, ChatGPT, OneDrive, TikTok, And then finally, we've just heard about those exciting on-demand translation enhancements. I think we've got time for just a couple more questions, so please do add more questions in if you'd like to find out more about any of those features or any other aspects of the product. We're also interested in obviously hearing any feedback around these product spotlight sessions in terms of what you'd like to see us cover in the future as well. So let's just take a couple more questions. I'm just having a look through the list here. There's a question about just generally where you can find out about the list of connectors that we support today and what those detailed capabilities of each connector is. Pippa, would you like to take that question?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so obviously all of our customer success managers, account managers are happy to talk you through our entire portfolio, what features are captured and the solution as a whole. You can also visit our website, so globalrelay.com, and we have under the product section a connectors hub, and you'll find I would say pretty much all of our connectors there, and you can actually request a demo directly from there. But in the first instance, I would say reach out to your customer success manager.
Great. And there's just a question here about whether the invitation for Product Spotlight can be forwarded. Yes, we'd welcome you to forward that to any colleagues within your organization. And just a reminder as well that after this session, we'll circulate the recording of this Product Spotlight. I think that's it for questions. So thank you for attending. We'll be repeating these sessions every quarter, so just keep an eye on your email for the next notification that will confirm the time and date of the next Product Spotlight. Thank you to all our presenters, and thanks again for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your day.